the Blend. I'm your hostess, Tina Tilton. Well, on the Blend, as I try and share with all the viewers that when the Blend was actually birthed from COVID, if you will, because a lot of times during that time, 2020 was rough. It was a rough year. We can all admit to that. And I was sitting thinking, I wonder where I tell my husband, these are my friends. I'm like, I wonder where all my friends are. I already had lost many of them during my departure from hip hop radio, but I'm like, where are they? They're still my friends. So I have actually created a program, found my friends, and is excited to have my friends on this show. So on today's show, I'm gonna give you a little hint. If my name was Salt, this would be the male who? Peppa! Here he is right here, y'all.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Man, welcome to the Blend. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you so much for inviting me and having me.
Man, it's good to see you. And I'm so grateful that, again, like I said, I was trying to find all my friends. I'm like, where my friends at? Oh, there you are. Number one. So good. Again, you guys, I just want to make sure that I honor you and give you flowers while you can still smell them. That's the purpose.
Thank you so much for honoring me and acknowledging me. And it's an honor for me to be on your show.
Man, Pep, we have gone. I had a T-shirt growing up that says, "We've come a long way, baby." And so that's what I'm gonna say to you. You and I have come a long way, baby. So
we are true Memphis living legends.
Yeah.
Like you have some people, and I'm not knocking them. That are doing their thing. It's much easier to develop yourself and to get in the game than what we had to do. Like, we really had to fight and pay our dues. You know what I'm saying? And for you to be able to reinvent yourself and to still be here, and for me as well. So, like, I'm sitting here, I'm a director of a arena. So, you know what I'm saying? I went
of course. We're going to talk about that, Papa.
Yeah. So,
talk about that.
We live in legend.
Yes, we are. So, okay, so living. When I first met you, I was working at Hot 107. I'll just name the station. You were managing a very popular artist. Tell me who and how. Everybody should know by now. But tell me who and how y'all actually made the connection.
Your guy 3-6 Mafia.
Oh, okay. Both then. It was probably 3-6 Mafia first.
Yeah, it probably was 3-6 Mafia. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get connected with them then? Let's start with them.
So me and DJ Paul and myself were childhood friends. A lot of people know, but it's getting out now. I went to mortuary school. So
you went to what?
Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to mortuary school. So yeah, so my hustle was I wanted to be a mortician and own a funeral home. So it was 3 things that I wanted to do. I'm not knocking school and college, but you know how people are just starting to acknowledge that college isn't for everyone. Well, I knew that early in life, but back in my days, people just really wasn't hearing it. Like, if you're gonna go to college, you ain't gonna be nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I just knew that I didn't want to go to college, but I knew I had to do something. So I knew that I wanted to own a funeral home, own a liquor store, and a chicken restaurant. And ask me why.
Okay, why?
Because those 3 things the black people do. They gonna eat chicken, they gonna drink some liquor, and they gonna die. So
you ain't gonna wear me. You are not gonna wear me today.
Yeah. So those were like the 3 things that I wanted to do. So I went to Atlanta, was in mortuary school, and so DJ Paul and Juicy J used to come to Atlanta all the time to promote their album, Tear the Club Up. Right?
Yeah.
So when they would come to Atlanta to promote Tear the Club Up, Paul would call me and ask me to show them around. So I would show them around. And then once I showed them around, I would just take them to the record stores and restaurants. I mean, the record stores and radio stations.
Sure.
And so once I did that, hold on a second. Y'all see that I'm on my employees are so silly. So yeah. So I would show them to the radio stations and club. And so one day DJ Paul asked me, "Man, won't you be our manager?" And I was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "What you doing?" And so I was like, okay. So then I was like mortuary school, wasn't no motivation. So I got out of mortuary school, started managing 3-6 Mafia, and the rest was history.
Man, oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever heard that story, Peppa. I've known you for no. I've known you for many years. Not that story though.
Yeah.
Okay, so how and when did Yo Gotti come in the
so
picture?
I managed 3-6 Mafia maybe like 3 or 4 years. I stopped managing them and became the vice president of Def Jam South. So
how you get that gig?
Yeah,
mortuary school manager that you didn't know nothing about management, and now you're at Def Jam South.
Yeah, so because of the success that I had with 3-6 Mafia,
okay.
Yeah, Kevin Lyles and Leo Corn heard about me, so they flew to Memphis on a Learjet and was like, "Hey, we're about to start this division of Def Jam South with Scarface being the president. You know, Scarface out of Houston and the Ghetto Boys, and you know, like we done our research and we want you to be the vice president, and so we're gonna base it out of Atlanta." And we want you to set up everything. Like Scarface is going to be the face and we need you to do the work. And so I was about 23, 24.
I sure was about to ask you that. How old were you?
Yeah, I'm probably about like 23, 24.
And vice president of a very popular record label. What?
Yeah, you remember I used to have a record store and a restaurant in South Memphis. So I used to wake up, go open my restaurant in South Memphis, drive to Atlanta, be in Atlanta probably about like 2 or 3 o'clock. Be in Atlanta Def Jam South office like 2 or 3 o'clock to about 7 or 8. And you know it's an hour time difference. Drive back to Memphis and be in Memphis by 12 or 1 o'clock to close my store. I used to do that 2 and 3 times a week. I was just a young dude getting it. And so I was the vice president of Def Jam South. I helped discover Ludacris. I didn't discover him, but I was part of the discovery of Ludacris. But by this time, I started learning the business and I had the connections. And so I was like, well, by this time, everybody coming to me trying to help them get record deals because they knew that I was the vice president of Def Jam South. But I ended up seeing the value of it is like, you know, why work for somebody else when you can do this on your own? And so I learned to discover that early, and I ended up starting my management company back, and I had the connections. So I would go get artists and like shop them to New York. And so it was this dude out of Memphis called Yo Gotti, and he had that record Shouted, cheap price Shouted. And so, you know, I knew what my formula was. I knew when you was on the verge to break. And so Gotti was in South Memphis in the hood, like, you know, still selling dope, like in the hood behind Melodies in North Memphis. And so I went to him. I didn't know him. I was like, hey, like, let me take you to New York and get you a record deal. He was like, I'm good. I was like, man, let me take you to New York.
You mean he was about to decline your offer?
He declined it like 3 times. He was like, I'm good. And so then I was like, man, how can I get this man in New York? And so I was like, you know, I'm always trying to think outside the box. So I was like, well, man, it's a free trip. You can take a girl. And so when I said that, he was like, all right. So he took a girl. I took him to New York and I shopped him. And you know what I'm saying? When I shopped him all these record labels. And I was telling people, I said, man, this is going to be the next Master P watch. I said, this boy going to be hot. And so he saw, I didn't know him maybe a week or 2 weeks. You know, so I didn't have no type of relationship with him. But he saw my passion for selling him and believing in him. So he asked me again, won't you be my manager? And so I was like, I bet. And so we took off. So then we did the deal. I had Universal Records. You remember TVT when they had Lil Jon and Side Boys and all of them. So we ended up doing the deal with them. So then we come back to Memphis. A month later, I ended up doing the deal with Cash Money. So we did 2 deals. So TVT didn't get Gotti number 40,000. But then I went and created the group Block Burners because Baby wanted to sign them. Because I had the relationship with Baby through 3-6 Mafia. You see what I'm saying? When I was managing them. And so Baby was like, I want to sign them. And I was like, you too late. Then I told Gotti, I said, hold up, we could create a group. So we created Block Burners. I told Baby Neil, Gotti in the group. They gave us $175,000. Gotti was like, man, you call, how the hell you do this? So, you know, that's kind of like the short version.
You said and everything and the money and the everything has been rolling since then.
Yeah, it's been good since then.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this though. Like, what do you look for in talent? How do you have an eye for talent like that?
I mean, it's so, you know, people, you just gotta have it. Like it's organic. I have seen guys spend over $200,000 and still don't make it. I've seen guys spend $5,000 to $10,000 and get $1 million record deal. Yeah. The street's gonna tell you. Now that my formula back then, I would go to 3 different high schools in 3 different parts of the city and just pull up and roll my window down. If you hear that same song of Artemis being played all over the city, he got it. But people don't understand it. If I'm hot in North Memphis and I'm from North Memphis, of course North Memphis is gonna support me. But that don't mean that I got it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now through social media, you ain't got to do nothing but look at them followers, look at them views, YouTube. It's so much easier, but the game has changed. Like, I'm really not into the music side of it now. Like, you know, the only artist I deal with now is Moneybag. And I'm more Moneybag's business partner. Like, I just got him that deal with Rap Snacks, you know, the potato chip.
Yeah.
Then I just did the deal with Moneybag with Bel Air, and he got his own cognac Valon. And so, like, I just learned the business. Like, you know, I create the value in my worth now. When you're a manager, you get 10 to 20%. Yeah. It's a cap on what you can get.
Yeah.
But now I go sit down with you and say, okay, what you want? I broker the deal, see what you want. I go get the deal. Then I'm gonna give you what you want. But I create the deal to where it's way more than 10 and 20%.
Yeah.
Some deals we ain't broken when me and Bag did it 50-50. You feel what I'm saying? It's all depends on the deal.
That's good.
You know, good. Like once you discover and learn your value and you really bring something to the table, then it gives you a little bit more negotiating room and leverage. You know what I'm saying? So
of course. Yeah. And so obviously here we are in 2021. You have found and discovered your value when it comes down to this new opportunity, business venture that I was just totally like, wait a minute. From 96, 97 until 2001, this man has done this and just climbing as I'm spinning my wheels, but I'm also climbing. And this is what I've seen you do. And again, I'm so proud of you and congratulations.
So
but I'm talking about this new opportunity that you have with this arena in Mississippi. Yeah. Tell me about that.
So, well, let me say this first. My prayer is always that God, every day, that God continues to enlarge my territory.
Praise God.
So I would suggest that all your listeners go. It's the prayer of Jabez, a prayer of Jabez.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my prayer every day. And so, like, you know what I'm saying? So when you believe in it and have faith in it, opportunities just come. It's not about the money. You don't chase the money. You just living in your purpose and your passion in life. And so with the Power Battle Arena in Tunica, you have this big, beautiful, magnificent facility that was built 20 years ago at the height of all the casinos.
The Tunica casinos.
Casinos. And to make a long story short, the building was only being used for horse shows and rodeos. And the previous management, they just didn't get it. You know, let's just say that. So back in September and November of last year, during the pandemic, the city council started lobbying me to like, hey, we want you to look at this building, and bring you on board to help us see what you can do with it. And so, to be honest with you, at first I kind of like turned it down. I was like, man, like, I don't have no job now. Like pushing a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I have, so they was like, well, no, you don't have to really do it like that. Just do what you do. And so, we kept going back and forth. I prayed on it.
Yeah.
And so to make a long story short, I end up, they gave my company the contract to be the executive director and management of the facility. And my job is to rebrand it, bring in new events through my relationships. And so Penny Hardaway wrote me a letter of recommendation.
Yeah.
Jim Holt, which is the CEO of Memphis and May, wrote me a letter of recommendation. And they was like, he's the person for y'all job. Like, we've seen him work. We know what he's capable of. And so they gave me the contract. They gave my company the contract. And so I've been here 5 months. Within my first 60 days, I secured $500,000, $500,000 from the state of Mississippi, where for the first time ever, Mississippi has just given me $500,000 to renovate the whole building. They haven't given the city of Tunica money in like 20 plus years.
20 some years,
because they get the money from the casino, so they feel like Tunica don't need no money. So I was able to go in through my relationships and receive $500,000 from the House of Representatives from the state of Mississippi. So they was like, man, where have you been? So that kind of blew their mind. And it's just the Landon Center and FedEx Forum got a problem. One of the first things I did, I went back and tried to hire all local and everybody that used to work at the building.
Yeah.
And so, like, everybody that I have in the building are from Tunica. And,
good for you.
They already know the building. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So what God has done is, like, my team was already in place. And so that I'm actually learning and they teaching me a lot. And they giving me the room to just be and do Peppa because of the things that they see that I have the passion to do.
Well, what is your goal for there?
So the goal is
to
So what I try to do, but I have to, unless you just a real true Memphis veteran, you remember when they used to call the Mid-South Coliseum like the party capital, entertainment capital of the Mid-South. So I'm like,
I was a baby.
Okay, so that's like my new so that's like my new thing. I'm stealing that slogan and reinventing it. My purpose and goal is to create this as the new entertainment capital of the South, meaning, the Landon Center is a good facility, but they win by default. Where, just because people can't afford the FedEx Forum. Well, what I'm about to do is create. Well, let me say the history that I made too. I am the only Black executive director and company in the whole United States that runs an arena in a facility. Like, people of color are not in these positions. Yeah, and so it's a lot of power in it. And so to answer your question, I'm gonna create opportunities. You may have a promoter or an event organizer that has a dream. They can't afford the FedEx Forum. So by me being in that position, what I try to do is create a contract that is feasible for the building to make money, but being just enough to give you your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And open the door.
And it creates repeat business, and they'll keep coming to you and coming to you.
Exactly. And so off of that, for the first time in Tunica history, this whole summer, Tunica has none but people of color events. So we just had Sharon, what we had? We had the Drew Hill and Silk show.
Yeah, I heard about that a day later and $1 short. I'm like,
so we had that maybe 3 weeks ago. Then I just did the big blues show. We did 9,000 people outside at the blues show. That's unheard of at this area.
Wow.
Then we have a boxing match coming up. Then I have a big all-white event from one of the local promoters. He always does these big events. And his dream was to have an event at the arena, but they would never let him have it. And so his event is July the 31st, and I gave him the arena. And so, so like for the first time ever, this whole summer has been nothing but Black events. And I say that just a diverse lineup. Let me say that, because we open our doors to everybody. But the arena was just, people thought it was just for horse shows and rodeo.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, that's just, what I'm doing. And the phone ringing off the hook, people want to get in here. They want to have it. And, like, I'm just getting started. Like,
yeah,
now that
you
I
are.
have a team in place, that I know that they able to do what they supposed to do and can do what they need to do. I'm able to do what I do. And, that is create the hype, create the vision, and, make Tunica Arena the Mid-South entertainment capital, where everybody think about, let me go to Tunica, let me get this building Peppa got, because it's like I'm in my office right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Look
at that.
So
that's nice. Okay,
so you see,
I
that's
see.
overlooking the arena. You see it?
Yes, I see it.
Yeah.
That is so nice, Peppa. Congratulations, man. and to be the only young African American in the nation running such a venue is prestigious, like you said, in and of itself.
I guess it's most definite, and I know that this was sent from God. From God.
Oh, sure.
This part of my plan and purpose and passion. And
Absolutely.
I tell my staff that, whether I'm here for 5 years or 1 year, I plan on putting them in positions that they have to stay. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how we're gonna build this thing and make it successful.
Well, you know what? Now the venue and the arena is not your only success. We've got about 5 more minutes left. Your next success is something that's coming up. I know that's near and dear to your heart too, and you do it every year. We know Peppa as the summer kickoff person. We know school's about to begin.
So the Safe Summer, I'm glad you brought it up. So I have the Safe Summer Block Party is gonna kick off. The first one is July the 23rd at Hickory Ridge Middle. So we will have exotic animal petting zoos, free food from King Cotton and Penny Hardaway. So everything is free. You can come out, get registered for school, get whatever you need. So we having 3 of them. July the 23rd at Hickory Ridge Middle, July the 30th at Tresvant, and August the 5th at Whitehaven.
What was your heart's passion behind that? Because that seems a little different, but and it's involving kids.
You said, what's the purpose of it?
No, what was your heart passion? Like what inspired you to do that?
Because the kids don't have a lot of kids don't have vacation. So I bring a camel to the ghetto. How many kids have seen a camel? So I have camels in the ghetto, baby.
Yes, you do.
So I tried to bring excitement to you. So I have carnival rides, exotic animals. They can ride a camel. Some of the parents ain't seen no camel before. So it was to create a safe environment. I have support from the Memphis Police Department. I know we don't. How many more minutes we got? 1 minute, 2 minutes?
No. We have 3.
Okay, so it was to create a safe environment and a platform where community partners, whatever it is you're trying to do in the community to help the community, you can become a part of this block party. And throughout the summer, every Friday, we're in a different neighborhood. So we cover Hickory Hill, Whitehaven, North Memphis, and South Memphis. And so that's the whole purpose of it. And it has grown.
Yeah.
And, through the blessing of God and, just a passion for it. I remember when I used to try to go downtown and beg to get grants to fund it. Now, people call me.
They come.
And I'm talking about what can we do? What do you need?
That's all it takes. Yeah, you
That's
have
all
to
it
prove
takes. So like,
you just have to prove yourself and the seriousness of your own grind, of your own hustle.
yeah, so God has most definitely enlarged my territory.
Yes.
And I'm most definitely living my
But you
purpose
asked him
now.
to. So that's
Yep.
he's a prayer answerer.
Yeah. So thank you once again for having me, Tina.
Oh,
Always, because listen, when you message me, I have a million things going, but I make sure when certain people call, or like when you, like I told you, I was like, of course I'm gonna do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's another Zoom. Actually, I'm over all the neighborhood watches in Memphis as well.
Oh.
With the Shelby County Crime Commission. So I was supposed to be on their Zoom call, and they was like, "You not on the call." I said, "I'm in another meeting." So like, you get first priority. You
thank you. It's such an honor, and I definitely wanted to make sure that the viewers were aware of the 23rd. I wanted to give you that this whole 30 minutes, if you will, of what's going on the 23rd, what's going on at the venue that you're doing now, and what you've done in the past. So again, highlighting and offering you roses. If I had some, I'd say, here, smell these.
Thank you so much.
But I don't have any today. I don't have my roses.
Don't worry.
But Peppa, thank you so much for being a guest on the Blend. Any shout outs, anything that you would like to say before we wrap up?
Stay focused. See the big picture. With God on your side, the world can be against you.
Amen. And I guess enough said.
Have a good one, Tina.
Thank you, Peppa. You too. Bye-bye.